The sewers are stirring again, and fans at San Diego Comic-Con just got their first terrifying taste of the upcoming prequel series, Welcome to Derry. Based on Stephen King's It, the highly anticipated Max series gave fans a sneak peek at the first 10 minutes of its premiere episode. And if this preview is any indication, Welcome to Derry is set to deliver a chilling, character-driven horror epic that expands the sinister mythology of Pennywise the Clown. A chilling cold open. The scene opens with an eerie, slow pan through a desolate and rain-drenched Derry, Maine. The camera lingers on cracked sidewalks, flickering streetlights, and faded posters for a traveling circus from decades ago, setting the mood with an unsettling stillness. There's a sense that something is not quite right. A light breeze carries whispers, barely audible, but undeniably present. Then the screen cuts to black and transitions into the heart of the story, the 1960s setting. New characters. Familiar fear. The preview introduces a new central character, a young boy named Preston, around 11 years old, who is seen wandering the town alone on his bicycle, a clear homage to the Losers Club from the original It. He's curious, imaginative, and immediately likable. As he pedals through town, viewers get a first look at the era's vintage aesthetic: diners, old movie theaters, soda fountains, but also a sense of underlying tension. Adults glance nervously over their shoulders, and children avoid certain parts of town. Preston ends up at the entrance of the old Derry Carnival grounds, now rotting and abandoned. The gates are chained, but as Preston approaches, a chilling laugh echoes faintly in the distance. A red balloon floats into the frame, a sinister calling card fans will recognize instantly. He pops it with his bike, spoke. That's when the tone shifts. Return to the sewer, in a transition eerily reminiscent of Georgie's tragic fate in It. The camera follows Preston's gaze down a storm drain. This is where the real horror begins. A voice, playful and inviting, emerges from the darkness. It's not quite Pennywise, not yet, but it's something. A precursor. A promise of what's to come. The voice entices him with riddles, jokes, and vague references to the town's dark history. Preston, though creeped out, is clearly drawn in. Just when it seems like he might lean in closer, a hand clawed and monstrous reaches out. Preston screams and bolts, his bike crashing behind him. The scene ends with a flash of yellow eyes in the dark and a sudden slam of the storm drain cover. The Derry we never knew from these opening minutes. Welcome to Derry makes one thing clear. This isn't just a retread of Pennywise's greatest hits. It's a deep dive into the origins of evil, not just the creature itself, but the way Derry as a town has always been complicit in its own darkness. The footage also hints at an ensemble cast, with quick flashes showing a young black girl writing graffiti, an older woman clutching her rosary as she stares at her reflection which moves independently, and a man in military fatigues wandering through a fog-covered forest. Hearing children laugh. These glimpses suggest the series will explore multiple timelines and characters, likely tying into the larger lore introduced in Stephen King's original novel and expanded in Andy Muschietti's two-part film saga. Muschietti serves as executive producer on the series and directed the pilot episode. A fresh yet faithful tone visually, the show maintains the eerie charm of the films, drenched in atmospheric lighting, subtle jump scares, and emotionally grounded storytelling. The dialogue feels natural, and the tension builds gradually rather than relying on cheap tricks. The sound design, especially the subtle children's laughter and twisted carnival music, adds layers of dread. What stood out most in the preview wasn't just the horror, it was the mood. Derry feels like a living, breathing character again, and one that's even more unsettling when explored in a pre-Pennywise era. There are clear indicators that racism, class division, and communal denial will be central themes, just like in King's book. Fan reactions from the panel fans in attendance erupted in cheers and gasps during the preview screening, with many noting that the series feels scarier and more grounded than they expected. The Comic-Con panel confirmed that the show will include origins of the Pennywise entity, possibly dating back centuries, and will build upon the cosmic horror hinted at in It. Chapter 2. The creators teased that we'll learn more about Derry's cursed cycle of violence, and that each episode will unearth a new piece of the mystery, sometimes through historical flashbacks, other times through present-day consequences. The verdict after 10 minutes, even though only 10 minutes were shown, Welcome to Derry has already set a haunting tone. It promises to be more than just a prequel. It looks like a rich, terrifying exploration of trauma, folklore, and the monsters we ignore. Pennywise may not be the star of the first 10 minutes, but his presence looms large. And when he does arrive in full form, fans better be ready.